Welcome to Travelholic channel. Did you know that you can turn peanut butter into diamonds? Or that some people are afraid of the beards? In this video, you can find out not only that, but also are apples actually healthy? Can a bird sleep while flying? And more. Let's start with 20 interesting facts you're too lazy to Google. Number 1. Oranges are actually green. While we assume that all oranges are orange in color because of their name, the fruit is often green when ripe, thanks to plenty of chlorophyll. In South America and other tropical locales, oranges are green year-round. But in the US, where it's colder, oranges lose their chlorophyll and take on the color that matches their name. And because North American shoppers are used to oranges that are actually orange, imported fruit is either exposed to ethylene gas or shocked with cold water in order to remove the chlorophyll. Number 2. You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. According to a 2012 study published in the journal Annals of Epidemiology, humans are 13.8% more likely to die on their birthday than on any other day of the year. That's according to Swiss mortality statistics from 1969 to 2008. We've got to say, that study is morbidly interesting. Number 3. Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Playing electronic dance music, EDM, could be just what you need to scare away those pesky mosquitoes in the summer. According to one 2019 study published in the journal Acta Topica, the Skrillex song Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites combines very high and very low frequencies, as well as excessive loudness and constantly escalating pitch, that discourage the yellow fever mosquito from biting victims and matting. Number 4. The King of Hearts is the only king in a deck of cards without a mustache. There are 4 kings in every deck of cards, and while they all look similar, the King of Hearts is the only royal fellow who doesn't have a mustache. According to The Guardian, the so-called Suicide King, who earned his name because it looks like he's stabbing himself in the head with a sword, wasn't always barefaced. He mistakenly lost his facial hair in a redesign. Number 5. Cats can't taste sweet things because of a genetic defect. Cats can jump surprisingly high, slip through the tightest spaces, and seemingly have 9 lives. But there is one thing they can't do: taste sweet things. According to a 2007 article in Scientific American, unlike other mammals, felines can't taste sweetness due to the fact that they lack 247 base pairs of the amino acid that make up the DNA of the TAS1R2 gene. As a result, it does not code for the proper protein, and it does not permit cats to taste sweets. Number 6. It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. While most of us are just happy to slap some peanut butter between 2 slices of bread, scientist Dan Frost of the Bayerisches Geo-Institute in Germany did something a little bit different with his peanut butter. He made a diamond. Frost studies the conditions of Earth's mantle and has found ways to mimic them in his lab. According to the BBC, the high pressures of the mantle can strip oxygen from carbon dioxide and leave behind the carbon to form a diamond. And since peanut butter is already rich in carbon, Frost was able to transform the nutty goddess into a shiny jewel. Number 7. Pagonophobia is the fear of beards. You probably know your fair share of men who sport some sort of facial hair. But if you suffer from pagonophobia, the fear of beards, then you'd rather avoid them. And it turns out this fear could be justified. A 2018 study published in the journal European Radiology suggests that beards contain significantly higher amounts of bacteria than dogs do. Number 8. The average adult spends more time on the toilet than they do exercising. According to a 2017 study by British nonprofit UK Active, adults spend an average of 3 hours and 9 minutes on the toilet each week, but only spend around 1 hour and 30 minutes being physically active during that same time span. Maybe it is somewhat useless, but also motivating fact is what we needed to hear to get to the gym. Number 9. Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. If you've ever broken a nail way down near the base or lost one completely, you know that they take quite a while to grow back. In fact, the American Academy of Dermatology says that a fingernail takes around 6 months to grow from base to tip, and toenails can take up to a year. But a couple of factors tend to speed that process up. Fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand, as well as on your bigger fingers, and nails also grow faster during the daytime as well as during the summer months. Number 10. Apple seeds contain cyanide. As they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Unless you eat too many apple seeds, that is. The tiny black seeds found in the fruit contain a plant compound called amygdalin that turns into hydrogen cyanide if the seeds are chewed or digested, according to Medical News Today. Seeing as cyanide is poisonous, even deadly in high doses, you should definitely spit those seeds out. Do the same for apricot, peach, and cherry seeds, which contain the compound as well. Number 11. A frigate bird can sleep while it flies. Birds can do some pretty amazing things. For example, frigate birds can sleep while flying. That's because they can snooze while using only one hemisphere of the brain at a time, according to a 2016 study published in the journal Nature Communications. Number 12. Jupiter is twice as massive as all the other planets combined. Maybe you already knew that Jupiter was the biggest planet of them all, but did you know just how big? Not only is it more than twice as massive as all the other planets combined, but if Earth were the size of a grape, Jupiter would be the size of a basketball, according to NASA. Number 13. Your body contains about 100,000 miles of blood vessels. Blood vessels are incredibly small, measuring around 5 micrometers. For reference, a strand of our hair is about 17 micrometers. However, because we have so many in our body, the Franklin Institute explains that if you lay them out in a single row, a child's blood vessels would be stretching more than 60,000 miles, while an adult's would measure around 100,000 miles long. Number 14. The chicken and the ostrich are the closest living relatives of the Tyrannosaurus rex. While we used to think that dinosaurs were giant lizards-like creatures that roamed in the earth, it's now widely accepted that the dinosaurs have more in common with present-day birds than they do with oversized reptiles. Research out of Harvard University in 2008 confirmed that the Tyrannosaurus rex shared more of its genetic makeup with ostriches and chickens than with alligators and crocodiles. Number 15. The average American spends about 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. When Pixie Wireless Tracker commissioned the largest independent lost and found survey in the US in April 2017, the research showed that Americans spend around 2.5 days each year in total looking for their lost things. The most commonly misplaced items according to the survey are remotes, phones, keys, and glasses. Luckily, the survey also found that 29% of people who have lost their wallets or purse have had them returned to them. Those are pretty good odds. Number 16. If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, a potato, and an onion. If you've ever been told to pinch your nose while taking medicine so that you don't have to suffer through the awful taste, you might want to follow that advice. Our sense of smell is responsible for interpreting around 80% of what we taste, according to the University of Florida's Center for Smell and Taste. That means that without being able to smell apples, potatoes, and onions, they're indistinguishable. Trust us, it works. Number 17. The real name of Monopoly mascot Uncle Pennybags is Milburn Pennybags. The game of Monopoly dates back to 1903, according to the New York Times. And while it's seen plenty of changes throughout the years, the current version we all know and love features a snazzy top hat wearing man with a mustache who's holding a cane. While you may know him as a rich Uncle Pennybags, his real name is Milburn Pennybags. And he's not the only member of the game who has a name. The Monopoly policeman is officially called Officer Edgar Mallory. Number 18. There are giant technicolor squirrels in India. The squirrels in your neighborhood are most likely brown, black, or gray, but in southern India, there are giant technicolor squirrels. Weighing around 4 pounds and measuring up to 3 feet from head to tail, the Malabar giant squirrel looks more like a rainbow-inspired Muppet than something that you find in forest stateside. Amateur photographer Kaushik Vijayan was able to snap some spectacular shots of one of the creatures in 2019 and told CBC News, "I felt so amazed by how drop that gorgeous it looked. It was indeed a jaw-dropping sight to behold." Number 19. The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. In 1966, Frederick Bohr developed the ingenious idea for Procter & Gamble to uniformly stack chips inside a can instead of tossing them in a bag. Bohr was so proud of his invention that he wanted to take it to the grave, literally. He communicated his burial wishes to his family, and when he died at 89, his children stopped at Walgreens on their way to the funeral home to buy the burial Pringles can for his ashes. They did have one decision to make, though. "My siblings and I briefly debated what flavor to use," Bohr's eldest son, Larry, told Time. "But I said, look, we need to use the original." And that's exactly what they went with. Number 20. There's a city called Rome on every continent except Antarctica. If you're trying to locate Rome on a map, you'd probably head right to the boot-shaped country of Italy. But Europe isn't the only continent that decided to use that particular name, or rather, the Italian version, Roma. In fact, there's a Rome on every continent except Antarctica, according to National Geographic. Thanks for watching! If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up and share. Also, for more interesting videos, subscribe. If you know any interesting fact, put it in a comment below. For more new videos, check our channel every day at 9 p.m. UTS +2.